Hi, I'm Chris Wardlaw for Car Gurus, and this is the 2019 Toyota Prius, the hybrid car that everybody loves, or hates, depending on your perspective. This year, Toyota updates the styling and interior and offers a new electric all-wheel drive system. I know, fascinating stuff. If you stick around though, I'll tell you why I think the Prius is perfect for most people most of the time, whether or not I think the all-wheel drive system is worth the extra cash, and how I'd spec a Prius if I were spending my own money. Oh, and you'll find out what my real-world fuel economy number was. Now, let's take a closer look at the 2019 Toyota Prius. Another change for the Prius lineup this year is a new trim level strategy. Before, the Prius was available in 1, 2, 3, and 4 trim levels, with Eco and Touring packages depending on the trim. Now it comes in L-Eco, LE, XLE, and limited trim levels. Prices start at $23,770 for the L-Eco and rise to $32,200 for the limited. These numbers do not include the destination charge, which is $930. All-wheel drive is offered only with LE and XLE trim. It's a $1,400 upgrade with LE trim and a grand extra with XLE trim. The question is though, should you get the new all-wheel drive system? Online, I found 4 15-inch snow tires for a Prius that were priced from as low as $320. So that's what I'd recommend if extra traction in the wintertime is what you want, especially since the all-wheel drive system shaves 2 miles per gallon off the car's combined fuel economy number. My test vehicle is the XLE with all-wheel drive. It's painted a new for 2019 color called Electric Storm Blue, and it has accessory 15-inch aluminum wheels. The wheels cost $899. They're not nearly as cool looking as what you can find online, and they're a complete pain in the you-know-what to clean, so I wouldn't bother getting them. This test car also has the optional advanced technology package, which installs a head-up display, a hybrid system indicator, and adaptive auto-leveling headlights. Add more accessories in the form of floor mats, a cargo mat, illuminated door sill plates, and rear bumper protection, and you're looking at a bright blue Prius that costs $32,146. Now, I realize that styling is a subjective matter, but I don't think I'm out of line telling you that I think the Prius is just a little too weird looking for its own good. Back in 2003, when the first boomerang-shaped Prius came out for the 2004 model year, it had to look different in order to attract people who wanted to be noticed and recognized for their ecologically conscious choice in a vehicle. But now, 15 years later, when hybrid technology is commonplace, does this car still need to look like this? My opinion is that it does not and should not. However, I think Toyota gets the interior exactly right. My test car's is boring in black, but you can get a super light gray color that adds lots of contrast to the cabin. If I bought one of these cars, that's the color I'd get, combined with XLE trim, because I think the front drive Prius's 17-inch aluminum wheel design looks pretty good. Besides, the XLE has everything I'd want, and as we've already established, I'd skip the all-wheel drive system even if I lived someplace where it snows. Add the carpeted floor and cargo mats, and I'd be out the door for just over 29 grand before factoring in price negotiation, rebates, and other incentives. For a reasonably roomy, reliable, practical, and efficient car, that strikes me as a deal. Maybe not a deal for a car enthusiast like me, but for someone who buys a car because they need to rather than want to, a Prius makes a whole bunch of financial good sense. You might not be very comfortable though. While the Prius is roomy enough for 4 adults, my test car doesn't have air vents for the rear passengers. Also, the leatherette upholstery in XLE and limited trim traps sweat on hot days, and there's no seat ventilation option. My test car has a manually height-adjustable driver's seat, and both front seats are heated. The front passenger seat doesn't offer height adjustment, but I think it sits high enough off the floor that this isn't a big deal. Cargo space measures up to 27.4 cubic feet behind the rear seat if you stack stuff all the way to the glass. Fold the seats down and a Prius can carry up to 65.5 cubic feet of cargo, which is just as much as many SUVs can. As far as technology goes, my test car is a bit of a mixed bag. Toyota continues to offer its Toyota Safety Sense technologies on all trim levels this year. They include full speed range adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, and automatic high beam headlights. Additionally, all versions of the Prius except the L-Eco feature parking assist sonar and a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert. Add a 5-star crash test rating from the federal government, as well as a top safety pick from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, and rest assured the Prius is a safe car. Where this $32,000 XLE disappoints is with regard to the infotainment system and the driver information displays. To my test car's credit, it does have wireless smartphone charging, Siri Eyes-free, and quick charge USB ports. But Toyota still doesn't offer Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in the Prius. Instead, you get a CD player. For some people, that might be reason enough to skip this car in favor of, say, a Honda Insight. Also, the graphics for the driver information displays and the infotainment system are downright retro and not at all suggestive of a sophisticated car for the future. You can get a better infotainment system in the Prius Limited. In addition to an oversized vertical touchscreen display, it includes navigation, a JBL premium sound system, Toyota App Suite technology, and a 1-year free trial to Safety Connect services. But the Limited costs $4,380 more than the Prius XLE, which is, in my opinion, too high a premium to pay for a car that is supposed to be saving you money in the first place. Now, speaking of saving money, I got 48.6 miles per gallon on my mountainous test loop, coming in just a little short of the official EPA rating of 50 miles per gallon for the Prius all-wheel drive E. I drove the car in normal mode, did not use the braking mode, and tried to remember to activate the EV mode each time my speed dropped below 25 miles per hour. I got the best mileage in the city and creeping along in traffic on the freeway, posting a high of 56.4 miles per gallon on the trip computer. I got the worst mileage driving up and into the Santa Monica Mountains, where my average dropped to 38.3 miles per gallon before rising again as I descended on one of my favorite roads of all time. Why bother driving a Prius on a mountain road? Well, I drive all my test cars on the same loop. But aside from that, the underlying platform gives the car surprisingly satisfying dynamics. Though the Prius only makes 121 horsepower from its 1.8-liter four-cylinder gas-fired engine and its electric motor combined, the motor's torque is available right away, and that helps the Prius to feel lively under normal driving conditions. What I'm saying here is that there's no reason for a Prius to serve as a rolling traffic cone. That's a clueless driver's fault, not the car's. When a Prius is holding up traffic, most likely the owner is trying to preserve a fuel economy number. And look, I did that too, activating the EV mode as much as possible, which runs the car solely on its battery and electric motor at speeds under 25 miles per hour. But when it became clear that I was a part of the traffic problem and not the solution, I stepped on the accelerator and scooted up to speed. I don't mind the car's joystick transmission lever so much, but the park button takes some getting used to. Also, the Prius has a regenerative braking system, which recharges the battery as you bring the car to a stop. It doesn't feel as unnatural and grabby as in previous generations of the Prius, but it can still feel a little sticky on occasion. Steering is good enough. I like the weighting and predictability, but it isn't sharp. Nevertheless, you shouldn't have any trouble placing the car right where you want it or even tossing it around a little. And you might want to do that too. While my test car's skinny 15-inch tires weren't great for handling, Toyota has baked genuine dynamism into the Prius's platform. Add hundreds of pounds of battery and electric motor weight down low in the chassis where it serves to lower the center of gravity, and with a proper set of wheels and tires, along with some suspension tuning, this car would handle remarkably well. Of course, that would also degrade the ride quality at the same time, and with this test car set of wheels and rubber, the compliant and remarkably quiet ride adds a truly zen-like cabin ambiance, perfect for commuting home after a hard day at the office. While the Toyota Prius isn't my kind of car, it is absolutely perfect for most people most of the time. Affordable, reliable, efficient, practical, and roomy enough for mom, dad, and a couple of kids, it is an exceptionally useful automotive appliance. Better yet, the Prius's hybrid system and platform are tucked under the new for 2020 Toyota Corolla Hybrid. So if you're like me and you think the Prius looks weird, well, now you can get pretty much the same thing in a Corolla wrapper. Be sure to read my full review of the Prius at Car Gurus, and if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For all of us here at Car Gurus, thank you very much for watching.